Hi students, this is your Pallavi teacher and welcome back in this revision session of social science where we are going to deal with the revision of civics chapter number 1, which is power sharing. So yes my dear children, here I request you all please stay connected with this lecture till the end. So let's move further towards the revision session, but before that I would like to give you today's thought. And here it is. Every positive thought is a silent prayer which will change your life. Yes, my dear children, if you start your day with a positive thought, then definitely it is like a silent prayer which will change your entire life. So, here I request you all please start your day with the positive thought. It will definitely change your life. So, with this great positivity, my dear students, we can start today's revision session. So students, before moving towards further slide, I would like to tell you certain things about this chapter which will connect you with this chapter and which will gives you the theme of entire chapter, which will helpful for your better understanding. So students, this chapter teaches us the importance of power sharing. What did I say, my dear students? This chapter teaches us the importance of power sharing. Means what? Means if we share our power, then what happened? And if we do not share our power, then what may happen? So students, here you need to very clear power means what? Means about which power here I'm talking. So here I'm not at all talking about muscle power. Okay, so here I'm talking about the power in administrative structure or the power in government. So if the power sharing accepted there in administrative structure means what, and if the power sharing is not accepted or will not accepted in power in administrative structure means what. So in your NCRT textbook both the situation has been explained with the examples of two countries, or this chapter started with the case studies of two countries. And which are those? Yes, answer. Yes, all are my very talented children. Yes, all you are correct. Which are those two countries? Belgium and Sri Lanka. Yes, my dear students, though you are not able to, though you are not in front of me, but I can assume that you people are answering of my questions. So let's talk about Belgium or the story of Belgium. So here the case study of Belgium. Again I would like to tell you students what is the name of our chapter? Power sharing. And we are going to understand here what is exactly mean by the power sharing or why it is important to share the power among the different groups of society. So with the case studies of these two countries we are going to understand. So here the case study of Belgium is available. So Belgium is a very small country in Europe. As we have seen in our earlier lecture also, it is such a smaller country in area than the state of Haryana. So you can understand student that how much area is available there of Belgium, and its share its borders with France, Netherlands, Germany and Luxembourg. The ethnic composition of Belgium is very complex. Now see students, you need to understand here the ethnic composition of these two countries. Okay, now the question comes here, what is mean by ethnic? So already we have seen what is mean by ethnic. So in a simple words you can keep in your mind what is mean by ethnic. So ethnic is a social division based on shared culture, or you can simply keep in your mind that ethnic means it is a division of social group on the basis of culture, caste, creed and religion. So what did I mention here? The ethnic composition of Belgium is very complex. Okay, why it is saying here the complex? So here the ethnic composition have been mentioned. Students, you need to understand this ethnic composition very well, because direct question can come there for 3 marks. That please means, so that's why I'm here requesting you all, please try to understand the ethnic composition in a proper manner, because direct question may ask there that what is the ethnic composition of Belgium, or explain the ethnic composition of Belgium. So here the ethnic composition is available. So regions, see that in Flemish region 59% Dutch language speaking people were available there. Then in Wallonia region 40% French language speaking people were available. Others 1% language people who were speaking their German. Then this is all about the entire country. Okay, the first division, it clearly tells here that this is all about entire country. But in Brussels, if we see there, the situation was different. In Brussels, 80% population was available there who speak there which language? French language. And 20% population who speak there which language? Dutch language. So here students, you can clearly understand in entire country in Belgium, the majority was available there of which language? Dutch speaking. And in Brussels, which is the capital of Belgium, in Brussels the picture was different, because in Brussels which language speaking people were available more there, or which language people's majority was available there? So French people. Means in entire country Dutch speaking people majority was available there, but in Brussels the situation was very different. In Brussels, French speaking people majority was available there. So this is all about the ethnic composition of Belgium. I hope you understood. Students, here I would like to give you example of your classroom. Okay, means what? Means if you take an example of your school, in entire school, if there will be the number of boys more compared to the girl, means overall in school whose majority is available there? Overall in school boys majority is available there. But if you take an example of your own class where the majority is available of girls, okay, so like that in all country in Belgium whose majority was available there? Dutch speaking. And in Brussels, which is the capital of Belgium, there which language speaking people majority was available there? French speaking people's majority was available there. So this is all about the ethnic composition of Belgium. Then here the map is also available, which is available here in different colors. So you can study this map, which is available in your textbook also on page number 2. This map is also very important, students, which is very easy to understand. So you can study. Okay, so I hope you understood here the case study of Belgium. Now we are moving further, the case study of Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka is an island nation. It is a few kilometers off the southern coast of Tamil Nadu, and Tamil natives of Sri Lanka are called Sri Lankan Tamils, and Indian Tamils are those whose forefathers came from India as plantation workers during the colonial period. So students, here this is all about the information about Sri Lanka, that Sri Lanka is an island nation, and where the different language speaking people are available, such as Sinhala speakers 74%, then Tamil speakers 80%, and others 8% are available there. So this is the ethnic composition of Sri Lanka. Okay students, so here you can clearly see that whose majority was available in Sri Lanka. Yes, Sinhala speaking peoples or Sinhala's people majority was available here. Then Tamil speakers, what is the percentage of Tamil speakers? So 18% Tamil speaking people were available there, and remaining 8% people of other language speaking were available there. So this is all about the ethnic structure of Sri Lanka. Now students, both these two stories, what this tells us. So, or why did we studied the case, why did we studied the ethnic composition of these two countries? So my dear students, here I want to clear you all that both these two stories are going to unfold in very different manner, because Sri Lanka is going to take very different route of power sharing, and Belgium is going to take very different route of power sharing. And which is that? So here let's talk about first about Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka, it accepted there the route of majoritarianism. Okay, so let's means this word only suggests us, or this word only tells us majoritarianism means what? Means what students? जिनकी मेजॉरिटी होगी उन्हीं का वहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट होगा. So let's clarify, or let's try to understand the concept of majoritarianism. So Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in 1948. Near about with India only, Sri Lanka has got an independence, and the democratically elected government adopted a series of majoritarian measures to adopt a Sinhala supremacy. Then here the twist come, my dear children. Why did we studied about ethnic composition of these two countries, Belgium and Sri Lanka? For this reason. Okay, now it is definitely unfold the concept of power sharing, because Sri Lanka, it took here the different route, and which was that route for administrative structure मेजॉरिटेरियनिज्म. श्रीलंका ने एक अलग रूट अपनाया था, किस चीज़ के लिए? अपना एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन चलाने के लिए. एंड व्हाट वाज दैट? मेजॉरिटेरियनिज्म. द डेमोक्रेटिकली इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट, जो गवर्नमेंट डेमोक्रेटिकली इलेक्ट हुआ था, इट अडॉप्टेड अ सीरीज ऑफ मेजॉरिटेरियन मेजर्स टू अडॉप्ट सिनाला सुप्रीमेसी. So they adopted their which measure? Majoritarianism, which gives their supremacy to which speaking people? Sinhala language speaking people. In 1956, an act was passed to declare Sinhala as official language. And yes, not only they stopped themselves at that moment only, or not only they adopt there the majoritarianism, but they declare their one act, and under that act they declare Sinhala as official language. The government recognized Sinhala applicants for university job and government job. Means if anybody wants to do there the official job or the government job, then they need to be the Sinhalas, or in government only Sinhala people will be getting there the jobs or the opportunities. So this is all about the majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. So students, we have seen here the majoritarianism in Sri Lanka, and because of this majoritarianism, what had happened there? So other language people speaking, means other languages speaking people also were available there in Sri Lanka. So when this majoritarianism gives there the too much importance to the Sinhala people, then the Tamil people, they felt there alienated. So students, what is mean by alienated? A feeling like an alien. Means when we think there like we are not a part of the same, we are not a part of the land, that time it can say there that alienated. So who started to feel alienated? Tamil people, they started to feel alienated. Why they started to feel alienated? Because under the root of this majoritarianism, all the supremacy has been given to the Sinhala language speaking people only. And that's why Tamil people, they started to rebel there, and they wanted their the equal rights and equal opportunity in government jobs as well as in university job, which they were not getting under the root of majoritarianism, and it lead to the civil war. Obviously, this Sinhala leaders, they didn't agree with the demand of Tamil people, Tamil Sri Lankans, and that's why it leads to the civil war, and lots of massacre happened there in both caste people, means Sinhala people, they also had to face there the lots of problem, and Tamil people, they also had to face there lots of problems. So this is all about the majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. Now my dear children, this was the case study of Sri Lanka. Now we are going to see here what happened in case of Belgium. Belgium के केस में क्या हुआ था, और in Belgium which route the people have accepted there. So in Belgium, with a very maturity, Belgium leaders, they handled the situation, and the outcomes also very great and very different. As you all know there, that the Belgian leaders recognize the existence of regional differences and cultural diversities. All these Belgian leaders, they know very well that the ethnic composition was very complex of Belgium, because different language people were available there, different cultural people were available there. So they recognize this diversity, and after recognition of this diversity, they amended the constitution for 4 times between 1970 and 1993. Yes, my dear students, these Belgium leaders, they were very great leaders, that they recognize that yes, in our country different language people are available there, too much diversity is available there. So when we arrange the government of our country, that time we need to focus first to this diversity, that it may not lead to the war or it may not lead to the conflict as Sri Lankan people faced there. And for this reason only, they amended the constitution for 4 times between 1970 and 1993. Amended means what, students? They improved their constitution for how many times? For 4 times. Okay, students? So, and after this amendment, what elements they have implemented in Belgium? So this is known as a Belgium model also, or the accommodation in Belgium. The point has been mentioned in your textbook on page number 4. So students, try to understand here what great thing Belgium leaders have adopted here, and how beautifully they have tackled this complex ethnic situation compared to the Sri Lanka. So here are some points I have mentioned which will clear to you all. That constitution prescribes that the number of Dutch and French speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government. Yes, this was the major step which had been taken by the Belgium government. What they have done, students, in constitution, means they didn't mention anywhere, or they didn't means उन्होंने ऐसे ही हवा में नहीं बोल दिया. So in constitution they have prescribed what, that the number of Dutch and French speaking minister, means both the language ministers, they will be getting there the equal representation in central government. दोनों को equal representation मिलेगा in central government, which may not lead to the conflicts as it happened in case of Sri Lanka. Then the state governments are not subordinate to the central government. Yes, the state government, it will be having there the independent rights. Then in Brussels has a separate government in which both the communities have equal representation. See students, in Brussels, yes, the situation was contrast compared to the overall country, means in overall country whose majority was available there. So Dutch speaking people majority was available there. How much percent? So 59%. And in Brussels, which people majority was available there? So French speaking people majority was available there. How much percent? 80%. So in Brussels they has a separate government. for the both communities and they were also having the equal representation. मीन्स कॉन्फ्लिक्ट का कोई सवाल ही नहीं था वहाँ पे. एंड अपार्ट फॉर the central and state government, there is a third kind of government elected by people called as a community government. So this was the master stroke of this Belgium leader students. Why I am calling master stroke? Because means in 3 points we have seen there that the government is talking about only French speaking people and Dutch speaking people, but again some minority people were also available there. So for that minority people or for the scheduled caste or the tribes people, they have arranged there the third government, which is known as a community government. So this is all about, my dear students, accommodation in Belgium or the elements of Belgian model, which is very very wonderful. So I hope you understood this. Now students, what we learn from these two countries? Yes, can you tell me? Yes, this is all about the case study of Sri Lanka and this is all about the case study of Belgium. So what did you learn from this? Yes? Yes, my dear students. So what we learn from these two countries, example that how power sharing is important. Means if we do share power, then what outcomes can be there, and if we do not share the power, then what outcomes can be there. So means in both cases we have seen there what outcomes can be there. So in case of Sri Lanka, what was the outcome there? In case of Sri Lanka, they didn't accept the power sharing equally and they have not done there the power sharing equally. So what outcome was available there? So there was a civil war. And in Belgium we have seen there that they accepted there the different route of power sharing and what outcomes, that they beautifully govern their country. And इतना अच्छे से उन्होंने country govern किया कि उनका जो means Brussels है, that is the capital of Belgium, it is declared as the headquarter of Union Parliament, European Union Parliament. Okay students, so this is also the very important question as far as your very short answers are concerned. Now what were we discussing? That what means if we do not share the power, then what outcomes can be there. So yes, if we share our power, then outcomes can be different, and if we do not share the power, then outcomes can be different. So students, if we list on there the reasons that why power sharing is important, then certain reasons are available there. Which are those? So power sharing is desirable. पावर शेयरिंग क्यों होना चाहिए? इफ एनी कंट्री वॉन्ट्स टू फॉलो देयर द डेमोक्रेटिक प्रिंसिपल, देन वाई शुड देयर द पावर शेयरिंग, और वाई दे शुड accept the route of power sharing? So here two reasons or certain reasons have been mentioned which I have listed on here. So power sharing is desirable because of prudential and moral reasons. So two reasons are available there, my dear children. Which are those? Prudential and moral. So power sharing is good because it helps to reduce conflicts between social groups. So power sharing क्यों important है? Because it helps to reduce conflict between social groups. So on the basis of two case studies of these two countries such as Sri Lanka and Belgium, we have seen there that Belgium is having there the proper power sharing, that's why conflicts were not available there, whereas in Sri Lanka the power sharing was not available there equally, which leads conflicts between Tamil and Sinalas and it leads to the civil war. Then the third reason, imposing the will of majority community undermines the unity of the nation. Means yes, the will of majority community undermines the unity of the nation. Means majority community का जो एक means इच्छा होती है, जैसे कि हमने श्रीलंका के केस में देखा है, it should not undermine the unity of the nation, or whatever the majority is available there, our country should be united there. Then the next reason is available here that why power sharing is desirable. So power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. Very spirit of democracy means what, student? If any country wants to follow there the democratic principle, then power sharing must be there, because it is the spirit of democracy. And a democratic rule involves sharing power with those affected by its exercise and those who have to live with its effect. Because democratic rule involves sharing power with those, means democratic rule, what does it tells here? That it tells us here that in democratic rule, whatever the power sharing is available there, it is affected by its exercise and those who have to live with its effect, means it's directly effect to the people. So that's why power sharing is desirable, my dear children, for two reasons. First is there prudential, and second one is there moral. Then now moving towards the further slide, which is the last part of this chapter, where we are going to see forms of power sharing. Means what, student? So if any country wants to follow the route of power sharing, then what types are available there, or what types they need to understand. So certain forms of power sharing is available, or certain types are available there of power sharing, such as power is shared among different organs of the government. The first form of power sharing, which is power is shared among different organs of the government. This is known as a horizontal distribution of power also. So students, means this is the first type of power sharing, where power is shared among different organs of government, such as कौन से है, legislature, executive and judiciary, and it is also known as a horizontal distribution of power also. Why it is called as a horizontal distribution of power? Because on an equal level the means power is been distributed. Okay, मीन्स लेजिस्लेचर क्या करता है, लॉ बनाता है, उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने का काम उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने का काम कौन करता है, एग्जीक्यूटिव्स, एंड उसके ऊपर वॉच रखने का काम कौन करता है, सो जुडिशियरी. सो that's why it is called as a horizontal distribution, because on an equal level power is been shared here with the different organs of government, such as legislature, executive and judiciary. Okay students, in detail we have already seen. Then this result is a balance of power among various institutions. Then what is the result of this power sharing? That it keeps their balance of power among the various institutions. Among the various institutions means whatever the institutions, whether it's a language, whether it's a culture, or other institutions are also available there. So it keep balance of power among various institutions. Then the last thing, the system of checks and balance ensure that none of the organ can exercise unlimited powers. Yes students, here what I have told you, that this is the horizontal distribution of power. ये क्या है, एक horizontal distribution है, यानी सबको equal rights are available there. That's why this can be there, or this is the system of check and balance. Means एक दूसरे का ये तो बैलेंस तो होता ही है, as you understood here, but चेक भी होता है एक दूसरे के ऊपर. मीन्स ऐसा नहीं है कि लेजिस्लेचर को लगता है कि मैंने ये लॉ बनाना है इंडिपेंडेंटली तो दे कैन मेक द लॉ, और एग्जीक्यूटिव दे वांट इंडिपेंडेंटली टू इम्प्लीमेंट एनी लॉ, देन दे कैन. नो, इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. और जुडिशियरी मीन्स विदाउट एनी कंसर्न ऑफ एनी अदर थिंग they can give their the any result. So it cannot happen there, because this is the system of check and balances. Means ये जो एक सिस्टम होता है, ये सिस्टम होता है चेक एंड बैलेंस का. मीन्स एक दूसरे के ऊपर चेक होता है एक दूसरे का. देन नाउ the second form of power sharing is power shared among governments at different levels. So in our first form, what have we seen there students? Power is shared among different organs of government, and that's why it is called as a horizontal distribution, because equally power is distributed there. Okay, now second form of power sharing is power can be shared among government at different level. This is known as a federal government. Yes, this is the complete chapter, means the second chapter is available in civics, which we have seen. So now it is very clear with you, my dear students, what is meant by the federal government. Yes, when the power is shared among the governments at different level, it is called as a federal government. And it is a general government for the entire country. Yes, for example, in India we have central or the union government, means when only one government is available there for entire country, it is called as a federal government. Okay, so now we are moving further for the third form of power sharing, where power is shared among different social groups. So this is known as a community government. Students, as we have seen that in Belgium case also, the third government they people have established, and what was the reason? Because they wanted to give the equal opportunities to the minority language also, or to the minority people also, and for that reason they have established their community government. Okay, so this type of arrangement is made to give a place in government to the diverse social groups who feel ignored by the government. See students, such a great thing is available here for the power sharing, means this provision or this third government, which is known as a community government. What is the reason to establish this government? Yes, this type of arrangement is made to give a place in government. इस government का arrangement इसीलिए किया गया है to give a place in a government to whom? To the diverse social group who feel ignored by the government. Means to the minority people also they have given the equal opportunities in government. यानी ये ऐसा क्यों किया गया है स्टूडेंट्स? बिकॉज आगे चल के कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स ना हो. And this method is used to give fair share in power to the minority communities. Yes, I have told why this provision have been done in power sharing, to give fair share or the equal share in power to the minority communities. Now, I hope students you understood here. Now we are moving towards the last form of power sharing, which is power shared among the political parties, pressure group and etc., which is very important. Means in detail we have studied this point in our second chapter also, students. So let's revise this point. What is exactly the power share among political parties, pressure groups and etc. यानी power को share कैसे किया जाता है different political parties, pressure groups etc. So in a democracy, the citizens must have freedom to choose from the various contenders. Yes. So if any country is following there the principle of democracy, then the citizens must have a freedom. And citizens should be having there the freedom about what? To choose from the various contenders. Means, and that's why the power has been shared among the different political parties. This takes the form of competition among different parties. So yes, this takes there, means because of this power sharing there is a competition among the different parties, and such competition ensure that power does not remain in one hand. Means, see that student, what does it tells? Here I want to clear this point, that continuously one party government should not be there, as it happens in India after an independence. Means near about for 10 to 15 years only Congress government was available there, but when other parties came in form, or when other parties they compete with the Congress, then after other parties government it started to establish. So why the provision, means why the power shared among the political parties and pressure group etc.? Because power does not remain in one hand, because again it leads to the supremacy, and again it leads or it may lead to the conflict. So that's why this type of competition, means that's why this type of power sharing is available among the political parties. And in democracy we find interest groups such as traders, businessmen, industrialists, farmers and workers. So students, ये जो pressure groups होते हैं या interest group होते हैं, ये क्या होते हैं? So traders, businessmen, industrialists, farmers and workers, these people are also having power in administrative structure. So I hope students you understood all these four types of government, all these four types of power sharing or the forms of power sharing. So I hope, my dear students, you have enjoyed this revision session and you have cleared your all doubts. Now, students, moving to the conclusion. So, students, what did we understand with this chapter? So, with this chapter, we resume the tour of democracy that we started last year. Yes, in 9th standard, you have studied the democracy. So, in detail, we have seen that if any country follows there the principle of democracy, then what type of power sharing should be available there. Then we noted last year that in democracy all power does not rest with any one organ of the government. Yes, last year you have studied there, students. That's why you need to make sure there that yes, in 9th standard you have done the revision or you have studied all the content very properly. And if we do not, then you can revise one more time all the textbook whatever is available with you of 9th standard. Still the time is with you. Okay. An intelligent sharing of power among legislature, executive and judiciary is very important to the design of a democracy. Means yes, if we talk about the design of democracy, then intelligent sharing of power among legislature, executive and judiciary is important. Then we start with two stories. Yes, students, now what I'm doing here, so I'm concluding the topic, or I'm means how you can keep this chapter in short in your mind in story form. So we start, means where from we started our chapter. So we start with the two stories from Belgium and Sri Lanka. Both these two stories are about how democracy is handled demand for power sharing. Means डेमोक्रेसी को किस तरीके से हैंडल किया गया है with the help of power sharing. Then stories yield some general conclusion about the need for power sharing in democracy. Then with the help of these two stories we have understood there that which things are necessary there for the power sharing in democracy. Then this allows us to discuss various forms of power sharing that will be taken up in the following two chapters. And yes, means we have discussed here the forms of power sharing which we are going to deal in the next two chapters. Already one chapter we have seen there, that is federalism. So I hope, my dear children, you have understood all these concepts whatever available in chapter number 1, which is entitled as a power sharing. Now students, one very important part I would like to discuss here, which is extra questions, okay, or the frequently asked question. Means अब तक जितने भी questions या फिर in your board exam the questions it may ask, so here I have mentioned all these questions. So these questions, my dear children, you have to write in your portfolio file as a extra question. So first question here I have mentioned, my dear students. Before moving further towards the question, students, you can take the screenshot of it or you can write it also. So the first question here I have mentioned that ethnic composition of Belgium and Sri Lanka, means what is, explain the ethnic composition of Belgium and Sri Lanka, where you have to give all the details. Then second, majoritarian in Sri Lanka, what do you mean by majoritarianism? So first question here you have to write for 3 marks. If it will ask about the ethnic composition of Belgium or individually, if it will ask individually, then it will ask there for 3 marks. But ethnic composition, if it is asked for 5 marks for the both countries, and then in detail with the map you have to mention there. Means you have, means if this question will be asked there, my dear student, for 5 marks, I'm talking about first question. Okay, ethnic composition of Belgium and Sri Lanka, if this question will ask there for 5 marks, then you have to mention there all the details with the map. And if this question will ask there for 3 marks, then no need to draw their map and all, only you need to give there the ethnic composition. Then the second question, majoritarian in Sri Lanka, if only this question will be there, then you have to give there the concept. But if question will be like this, what do you mean by majoritarianism, then the whole concept you have to explain in detail, which may be there for 5 marks. Then Belgium model of accommodation, yes, whatever the things we have seen there, the Belgium model of accommodation, so all points you have to mention there. This question is also for 5 marks. Then why do we need to share power, or why power sharing is desirable? So all 5 points you have to mention, my dear students. Properly you have to introduce this question, or properly you have to write there the introduction of this question, that what are the outcomes of power sharing, or why the power sharing is important. Okay, and all the five, after writing all 5 points, then very beautifully you have to write there the conclusion, and you have to sum up your answer. If you write answer like this, then you can get there 5 out of 5 marks. Then what are the various forms of power sharing? Yes, so this question definitely means, this question certainly uh, till last year this question is frequently asked question. So students, you have to keep in your mind there all 4 points of or all 4 forms of power sharing. First of all, you have to give there the proper introduction of this question. Then properly you have to write there forms of power sharing, whatever the 4 forms are available there. That is, power is shared among different organs of government. It is also known as a horizontal distribution of power. Then second, power sharing among governments at different level. Then third, among different social group. And fourth, among different political parties and pressure groups. And then finally you have to write there the conclusion. Okay, so if you write answer like this, then 5 out of 5 marks you can get there. Then specific forms of power sharing means the same question. If the specific form of power sharing, if it is asked, then also you have to write there the same forms, or what are the various forms of power sharing. If the question will be like this, then also the content will be the same. So I hope, my dear students, you all enjoyed this lecture and your doubts are clear here. If any doubt is still remain, then you can ask in doubt clearing session, which we are going to provide you very soon. So till then, my dear students, keep studying, stay blessed, stay healthy. Till then, bye bye.